I'm guessing you all like beer.
Definitely.
I'm hoping so. Why beer? Why enjoy beer? They say you should do something you love. So the most popular beer we've got is the Latitude 17. I was an industrial chemist for 15 years and a high school chemistry teacher for 15 years. And then we go up a notch in flavours. We've got Freefall, nice hoppy XPA. Once I started making my own beer, the science got involved and it got pretty good pretty quick. So easy. So what's going on here today is the start of the brewing process. We take bags of malted barley and malted wheat and we feed them through a mill, and that basically crushes the grains and opens them up and allows water to get inside them when we soak them in water, and which allows the starches to turn into sugar. And once we've got sugar, we can make beer.
They're a little bit ahead of us. They've already got their water in. They're tipping the grain in and it'll stay in there for an hour. So we're mirroring what they're doing now. Is that right?
Terry was one of the early homebrewers that I met. When I started grain brewing, I was invited to come and see some local guys that were already doing it, and Terry was one of those, and we've been friends ever since.
Look, I started about 15 years ago, I suppose, and I just enjoyed doing it. It's nice to be able to control what you're doing with different temperatures and styles. I'm not a very scientific person, but you do have to get on top of things, otherwise, you know, you make some horrible mistakes. A little bit like porridge.
Terry does lots of experimenting. He brews at home, well-read, a bit of a lager specialist. He does lagers from all around the world, really good brewer.
We'll leave this for an hour because we've got to convert the starches to sugars. So this is going to be mashed at 64 degrees, which is going to end up with quite a fermentable wort. I try to keep my beers just nice, easy to drink stuff. 64. So that's what we're chasing, 64. So spot on. This sits for an hour now.
One big division that people have heard of is that you get ales and you get lagers. Lager actually means cold store, so lagers are kept cold and aged, and they improve with that. It tends to give a cleaner, crisper taste that you're more familiar with from a lager type beer. Ales are much quicker. The yeasts that produce them produce more fruity sort of flavours, so you get that more kind of ale-y taste. So we can make beers anywhere from very nice light coloured sort of lagers or ales right the way through to dark stouts. And a bit like coffee, the more you roast barley or sometimes wheat, the darker and the richer the flavours become.
I'll do your dishes next. Essentially what you're trying to do is create the cleanest environment for the yeast to perform and convert the sugars to alcohol that we like and the taste that we like.
If you've got any bacteria, it'll just contaminate the beer. So you've got to be very, very careful. This is caustic, yeah, it'll burn you, so you've got to be careful with it.
Just about there, Terry. Rightio.
The kettle. I usually let it get a little bit in the bottom, maybe 150 mil, and then I'll turn it on. See all these flecks? That's protein. So we want to separate that from the beer. These are made out of seaweed and things like that. Makes everything clump together in the boil. There's already been 2 lots of hops in there. This is just the flavour and aroma. So that's what they call trub, T-R-U-B. And when we stir that up at the end, that'll all form the pile in the middle. So we'll let that spin for half an hour and stop, and then we'll start transferring. All right, so I just point out what we're doing. So we're taking the beer out of here when it's done. So that's pretty still now. Out of this here, into the top of this heat exchanger, down to the loop and it's crossing over to this, and then this one here goes to the fermenter. It's so easy to get confused there.
So after we finish boiling, we cool the wort back down again. There's still no alcohol there yet, and we put it into another tank called a fermenter, and we add the yeast. And this is where the yeast does its magic, and the yeast turns all that sugar into alcohol and produces some carbon dioxide gas as a byproduct. So then a couple of weeks later we've got beer. We're getting ready to fill off the previous batch of beer. So this is our keg washing machine. It washes the kegs out with a water wash first, and then we use a chemical cleaner, a caustic, to wash them again, and then they get sanitised, ready to fill in with beer this afternoon.
This is the beer Terry made for us. He's on our pilot rig. Let's have a look, see if it's any good. Quick taste test. It smells good. That's going to be a winner.
These 3 glasses.
I don't know you, but I'm in there now.
Oh, yeah, very nice, very fruity.
Perfect lager.
Drink and drive responsibly.
Or catch a cab.